Now we're going to get a little bit deeper into the CT opportunity map. But first, Brian, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit more. You mentioned right before break, so there are some restrictions. So in New Haven County, it was a household income of no more than $99,000, and then there's also a purchasing power limit of up to $392,000. Correct?
Yes, I'm rounding those numbers, but yes, you want to be aware there's a sales price limit and there's income limits that apply to this program.
So a lot of our 94 Niners out there, they're more like in the New London County. So let's just kind of like run up the coast, we'll say, right? We'll do Middlesex, we'll do New London, we'll do Hartford County. All right. So let's kind of run with that. What do those numbers look like?
Yeah. And I'll mention, if you want to look up your town that you're interested in, you can go to chfa.org and click on the resource map tool. It's great. It shows every town. You click on the map and it will tell you the income limit and the sales price limit for each town. So yeah, let's go. Let's check out a few. All right. So East Lyme, sales price limits $392, $265. For the regular CHFA program, the income limit goes all the way up to $129,000. But
so what about on a county basis? Like, what about all of Middlesex, or do they not? Do they only do that for like New Haven County? Do they do it town specific?
Typically, most of the towns in the county have the same limit.
Okay.
But there's a little bit of variation per town. It depends. It's complicated. They have a lot of rules. But that's why the website's really good. Or you can, call a CHFA approved lender like myself, and we'll look it up for you.
And if people do want to reach you, Brian, what's the best way to kind of get in touch with you? Do you prefer a call, email?
Yeah, so the best way to get in touch with me would be to schedule a time for a phone appointment. And you can view my calendar at scheduleloanappointment.com.
Scheduleloanappointment.com. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, since it is kind of most of the towns are the same, let's just do some of the bigger towns here. So Middlesex County, let's do Middletown.
So I'll simplify even more for you.
Okay.
Pretty much most of the state is going to be about $392,000 sales price limit. If you happen to be in Fairfield County, it's much higher. So you can go up to about $587 in Fairfield County. So, if you happen to be down there, you can go higher on the price, and the income limits are higher. And then we can do the time to own program. For those of you that are just tuning in, is a Connecticut program. They're giving up to $50,000 as a forgivable loan. And it's available in the entire state of Connecticut. If you have not owned a home in the last 3 years, you're considered a first-time home buyer. And for that program, the income limits are a little bit lower than the regular income limits. So those are by county. And I'm pulling them up right now. I'll just read through the list.
All right.
I clicked on the wrong button. Ask me a different question. I'll bring that up.
It's been a while since he's been on the radio, folks. Give him a break, 94 Niners. Give him a break.
It's been a little while since I've looked this up. They didn't have CHFA. This program was basically discontinued for about 4 months because they ran out of money in December, and the money's just coming back April 17th. So we're going to be back to looking this stuff up on a regular basis again. What else do you want to know?
So I want to get into, so we know that obviously there's certain price points that you can go up to, it's an interesting number because they do go above the median sale price in the state of Connecticut, which is $374, $375, call it. So they do give you a little bit of flexibility there. But then they've also created this CT opportunity map because within the time to own program, certain towns, certain counties are eligible for a higher down payment assistance, right? And so the opportunity map, just so everyone's kind of clear on what that is, the opportunity map is a way to look at neighborhood resources and outcomes such as school performance, poverty concentration, safety, and more. Opportunity mapping is an analytical tool that deepens our understanding of opportunity dynamics within the regions. The goal of this map is to identify opportunity-rich and opportunity-isolated communities. And this is an article right off of the CHFA.org website. So if you want to check that out, we can definitely link that up in the show notes on YouTube. But essentially, you want a basic understanding of the geography of opportunity. We can then better determine who has access to opportunity resources and how to remedy opportunity inequality, right? So let's talk about some of these towns that are a very high opportunity index. Now, I'm going to assume that the very high opportunity index means that they can qualify for a higher down payment assistance. Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So So to get a little deeper into this, so if you read the news article, it says you get up to 50,000. Well, not everybody's going to get 50,000. So if you're in a high or very high opportunity area, you get up to 50,000. Now, if you're in an area that's not a high opportunity area, it's up to 25,000. Okay, so it's either up to 50 or up to 25, depending on the map. And I think the question you're leading up to, Chaz, is like, well, why are some of these areas high opportunity areas and others are not? And at first glance, it almost looks like the opposite of what you'd expect. So it's kind of like the higher income towns are
you read my mind. I'm looking at Fairfield County, and it's all a very high in terms of opportunity. And then, you get into like Litchfield County and you're in like the moderate, and then, maybe Hartford County is in like the lower end of that. So yeah, what's the psychology behind that? Right.
So typically the reason that they do that is these are areas that typically most of the buyers are higher income buyers. So if it's an area where low to moderate income people are typically not buying as often, they want to make it easier for those people with median income, below the median income, to get into these communities that typically are underserved for those people. That's why they're doing it that way.
So that's it. All right. Yeah. Let me ask you a question on that. So Fairfield County, for example, their median price point is well above the $392,000 mark. So how does that then balance it out, right? I could look quickly, and I might do that in between segments here. How many homes have sold in the last 2 to 3 years in Fairfield County for under $400,000?
True. They do have a higher sales price limit in Fairfield County. So you can go higher on the price in Fairfield County.
Okay.
So the traditional CHFA program that's been around for a long time, which is still available, and even when time to own runs out of money, we'll still be doing CHFA loans and helping people get 100% financing. So if somebody's got a couple $1,000s, they can buy a house. And a lot of folks don't realize that's a possibility. So that's the key takeaway here. But, so they have special programs for like certain neighborhoods in New Haven, in New London, in Bridgeport, that make it easier to get a CHFA loan in those towns. And that's historically where most of the CHFA loans have been done, in those areas where the home buyers are typically low to moderate income is the term that they use. So they're trying to help people that want to get into some of these other communities where it's not easy to be a first-time buyer in some of those other communities. That's why they call it a high opportunity area.